Good morning, everybody. Now to a montage of my day. In as a tank, and really, come up here. Let them come. I don't got this. I don't got this. I have nothing left. He's miles away from me. He's absolutely miles away from me. Oh, dude, that's so fucking rude. Rip. Rip, rip, rip. Rip, rip, rip. Why would you bloodlust now? Why would you bloodlust now? Please! Clear the blue card, I've marked it! Look at that floor! Now you're probably wondering, Preacher, please can you upload those runs for me? I would, but this is my commentary through most runs like that. Now, jokes aside, good morning everybody, welcome back to 12 Drunken Pirates, and today we're going to be doing some Prot Paladin. I am trying to get my Prot Paladin to some sort of position, but this is going to be an interesting topic for today. I have entered the world that we see everywhere, and that is now, in the Pug world, I have hit that point where I cannot really gear my Paladin. I can only hope for Titan Forged. And what I mean by that is groups have now set sort of barriers to entry, and that means that I'm not geared enough to do content in the eyes of the community that would reward me with upgrades, right? So my Pally is 902, and I would get upgrades from like 13, 14s, you know, that kind of numbers. And my Pally is more than capable of doing that content. I've done him on stream. This guy's tank killed Jaden. He's fine. He's totally fine. The eyes of the community, though, no. Now, what's been really interesting making this series is it's pretty apparent that many of you do not pug, and probably have some weird ideas of what it's like in the pug world. Well, take it from me. The reality, the pure reality of it is all item level. Nothing else, nothing more. It's just item level. So we might laugh, right? We scoff as raiders when we see people wearing any old shit because of its item level. But the truth of the matter is that one point that you can get from wearing shitter gear means everything if this is how you play WoW. And you shouldn't play WoW like I've been doing in this series. That's kind of the whole point of the series, I guess. Most people like watching what it's really like. But also learning what it's really like, and it's just item level. That's it. It's the difference between a yes or no when you click go. Now, we're going to do a +8 more. Nothing much. We're taking some low-geared guys, and somebody's boosting a healer, I think, in this pug because they joined as a team. I have a friend in Nups here, but he's on his 880 alt, so we'll see what happens there. He is playing arms, though, so you know what I mean. But it's been interesting to actually hit this point on my character where I'm trapped. I am trapped in this world, and I imagine this is actually where nearly every player of a casual nature, or whatever you want to call it, who's not in a guild, lives. They live in this world where you are trapped, and you scrape, and you scrimp, and you fight for every last item level, because it propels you. Right now, the brackets seem to be, if you want to do 915, you need to be 920. If you want to do +10, 910 is generally what's required to get into a +10. I know. It's fucking crazy. And everyone else is a scrub lord, and they do everything below. So, that's how it generally works, which is a little bit annoying because I'm trapped here. Now, on my tank, I can beat this. On my tank, I can beat this system. Why? Tanks are desirable, so I could just use my own key, and I can boost it up, and I could just let people join my group. It's as simple as that. And that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. All the other runs I had to join were all 9s and 10s, because of course I'm not 910 item level, which is pretty much what's asked for. And as such, I just couldn't get any groups above that. Like, it was just a flat out no. And the way it works is, and I don't think people really realize it, is when you join for a group, all they do, it's not just you that signs up. You might be under the impression that you're the only person who signed up. Not even fucking close, man. You're not even close to the only person who signed up. In fact, quite a lot of people signed up. And I tell you, as I put this group together, a lot of people sign up to these groups. And what happens is people just pick whoever's higher. It's as simple as that. They don't demand anything else of it. They don't want anything else from it. They just pick whoever is higher. And they say, right, I want that guy. I want that guy, and that'll do me nicely. So that's why people scrimp and scrape for every last drop of item level. And it really is quite sad, but it is the way it is. And why people play the game very, very differently to us. Like by just wearing any old shit they get, ninjaing items because it's got a higher item level, even if it's shit. You know, they don't care about things like we do, like what is the trait on this weapon, you know, things like that. You know, things we like, yeah, but the trait's shit, and it's like a 5 item level upgrade, but the trait on it is like, you know, shit like that. They don't play the game that way. We do. We do, because we have a wardrobe full of gear that we can pick and choose from at will. And if you don't have that and you don't live in that world, the game works so differently, and I find it really interesting. If not completely awful. And I think that's the stressful part. It's interesting. It's also terrible in all ways. Like, really, really bad. It's absolutely awful. Really, and I don't wish it on anybody whatsoever. I really do not wish it on anybody. So from that perspective, I think it's going to be cool for raiders to see exactly how this world lives. And also, don't underestimate it. Don't underestimate it when people are telling you things like, you don't get it. I have to wear this item. This item level means a lot to me. And you're like, dude, it's a shit item, right? The stats are bad. Don't underestimate the world in which those guys live, because they live in that world, and it's a crappy world, and feels bad. Alternatively, find a fucking guild if you're in this position, because it's the absolute worst. Please find yourselves a guild and spare yourselves of this nightmarish scenario. I beg of you, I beg and plead with everything inside me that you get out of this as quickly as humanly possible. It's so bad. Now, stay tuned to the end of the video, because I did tell Andy the story of the Vault of the Wardens. And I'll like try and animate it in a way with clips from the vault so you guys get an idea of just what we're talking about. And like, I saw things. Now, on the web show, this is the irony, on the web show, which you can see on the Twitch VODs, I spoke kind of at length about people's disappointment that the Pug world isn't as bad as you probably would hope it is. Because it's not, if I'm being honest with you. It's not. Like, generally speaking, it ain't that bad. You can get some really good stuff done in Pugs. But when it goes bad, ooh, mama, it goes fucking bad. It goes real bad, real fast. And that's where the great sadness lies. Let's pull this back for a decent sanguine. And it's not a sadness you could just walk away from either. It's not a sadness you could walk away from. It's... Honestly, it would make me never... I can say this, right? I'm happy to do my Pug series. I enjoy it. I have great fun. I learn more than I've learned in a long time from it. Doing runs like I had today would easily make me think about not doing it. Like, not pugging and just being like, that's it, I want to find a guild. Now, I hope most of you do that. I hope most of you do that and don't feel like, well, I'm kind of compelled because we've got to do this and that. Let me make sure I skull this. I want to make sure they blow up the Mariner first. Heal our Mistweaver friend. Be all you can be. Be all you can be. Now, I'm very worried of percentages in this one, so I'm just keeping my peepers open for that. We're going to get the doggies? Yeah. Now, on another note, the Resto Druid Challenge. Man, I was so happy to see that only a few people were like, noob. Because I'll be honest, man, I was pulling what little remains of my hair back after that. It was a whole fucking thing, that was. But I want to do all the healer challenges, obviously. We're not going to pussy out of it. I've got to tell you the truth, though. I did about 4 runs after. I had to cancel my raid because of PreachCon stuff. Well, you can't see the office, but I'm literally head height in stuff for PreachCon. And I had to cancel my raid, but I did get, like, while videos were rendering and stuff, I was making videos so I don't have to think about it while I'm doing PreachCon. And make sure you guys who aren't coming, I've got all your entertainment and whatnot. But, I had like an hour while it was rendering, so luckily the way my system works for making the daily preach is I can render on my PC while still playing the game without any problems. So I did that, and I was like, right, I'll do the healer challenge again, and if I do it, I can edit the end of the video because I had to like say that I tapped out essentially, and I can alter that so it doesn't say that, but. I got to the last phase twice more, right? I found a very consistent way of doing phase 1, and I'll be honest with you, I started wearing the, oh, what's it called? The glaive trinket. You know the one? The glaive trinket? I started wearing the glaive trinket, the AoE melee. It's an agi trinket and resto, lol, but it fucking wrecks the ads in phase 1, because once I really clocked that the guys don't do a lot of damage, it made such an enormous difference to do that. Such a huge difference. And made phase 1 really consistent. So once I started doing that, I was just thinking, I was like, I wonder if I can get away with this. Turns out I totally could. And got to the last phase a couple more times, but could not do stage 6. That is a bitch. So what I did on the very last pull was switch over to Incarnation. Just go Incarnation and fucking Bloodlust it through, and I think I could do it that way. I didn't make it that time because I missed like 1, and then you spread yourself too thin, you end up with too many ads, but I almost could do it. So looking forward to that coming back up, so we can get that done. Anyway, let's talk about Prot Pally a little bit. As you can see, I'm just doing general Prot Pally stuff. Now, the Prot Pally is something I recommend to a lot of players who want to get into tanking or want to get back into tanking, because it's very useful. It's not got a great deal of synergy. I think that's a fair way to put it. Like, it's got some with Consecration, but it's not the most synergetic class, which means that you're not having to think about one thing to do another, right? You're not setting up mad things. You're not doing that with a Prot Pally. In fact, for the most part, until you get into like some really decent content, you can basically hit and hope most of it. And that just means as long as something, you're pressing these buttons that are on cooldown, you're going to be fine. I think we need more, don't we? Well, we got them. Let's do this here. Oh, not Mikey. I'll heal myself. Sorry, bro. Sanguine is such a bitch sometimes. It really is. Oh, you can't hodge that one. Okay. But we're still doing fine. That's my issue with it, is that like there's not enough synergy going on. Like, even when it was like the past where you could build up stacks to do mega heals and stuff, I now find myself joining the ranks of, in the runs that I had that were terrible, I was absolutely the top. I was like second or third DPS, the tank, and the top healer by like a country mile. Like by miles and miles and miles. Which was interesting. I suppose we could call it that. We could call it interesting if we wanted to, but it was a tough run, which I shouldn't really be able to do, like being the top healer on other people, not like a Blood DK who's just self-healing, like the top healer on my own. That wasn't what the rest of the group, which is what I was, like a disc priest that was floating around in the middle of the room in Vault of the Wardens and stuff, like that kind of shit. I mean, I don't dig it, you know? I don't dig it. Where's Barrage? There's the Dispel. Quick Dispels, very nice. Barrage is on that side. No one got hit. No one got hit by a Barrage. Mmm. Very nice. Very nice. Very rare we actually see that these days. On the other side. Oh no, I went into the puddle. It was under the green. Lame.
No, this is not possible.
Did he go into it as well? Oh, no combat res. Oh, come on, dude. Really? Right underneath me? Nothing worse than getting the one right underneath you. Oh my god, it's busy in fucking melee or what? Isn't it just? We should be fine here. Yeah, combat res is up. Good stuff. I forgot we had a druid. Get the old truth guard, why not? Are we gonna make it? I always feel myself holding Avenger's shield should someone miss an interrupt. We don't want that, do we? No, we don't. Is that in the middle? Yeah. The Prot Paladin just doesn't have enough synergy for me, which is a bit of a bummer, and I wish it did. What 11 did I get? Ooh, what do we get? What do we get? What do we get? We got... Oh, 11 core! Delicious! We'll be doing that this week, then. An 11 core. Absolutely stupendous. That's fantastic. That's really good news. And we got a... Oh, 8 level upgrade. Sweet. That every item level counts, man. He's trading me. I'm out of range. I need. Sorry, boss. Sorry, boss. Daddy needs. Daddy needs. There we go, guys. So, enjoy my story of the Vault of the Wardens with Andy. I'll see you again. Bye-bye. Findings of the Windlord for the Rogue, though. Just get me out of here. I'm done. Get me out of here. Andy. 28 deaths. Vault of the Wardens, 8. I have never witnessed a group like that in my life. Just get me out of there, man. I'm so sad. Like, do you know that second boss in Vault of the Wardens, right?
Yeah.
Do you know the Inquisitor, the Sap Soul guy, right?
Yeah.
And everyone always like freaks out about it. He's like, it's terrible, it's terrible. But I've never genuinely had a problem there.
Do you hide or do you go to him?
Well, here's the thing. So when we were on the way there, the guy types in chat, we're going to hide, right? So I'm like, okay, the guy won't do the hide thing, whatever. The Disc Priest. Now, first of all, I noticed we had a Disc Priest who wasn't great, right? Which was a problem, because like the healing was really low. Fair enough, no big deal. So I had to start taking it slower. But the mage obviously got fed up, so he started ninja pulling stuff, caused a wipe. So he then said apologised, I tab targeted something, blah, 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 blah. Whatever. That old chestnut, right. So we got to the first boss, we get melted. We've got a really overgeared demon hunter in there. So we get down to the Inquisitor boss. Me and the 3 DPS hide behind it, except the Disc Priest, who runs into the middle of the room and keeps DPSing the immune boss. Right? Now, I'm only suspect that the guy must have thought that, because the group was taking damage because it's volcanic and stuff, right? That if he carried on doing damage, he could heal them up. But he also dragged all the ads to the middle of the room, right? So I was like saying, come up here. And I don't know whether he could understand English or whatever, but he didn't. So he stays down there to wipe. So I say, guys, it doesn't work if you spread out. Come up to the top of the room. All right. Hiding. Disc Priest runs down back into the middle of the room, does it again. And I'm looking at him. I can see on my screen he's in the distance. And he's just stood on his own, miles away from me, with aggro on enemies. Just nuking them. And we're not getting any healing. So I'm like healing the party and stuff like that to try and rescue what's going on. Yes. So I was healing the party because he was down there. I think in his head he thought he was helping. So the guy says, can you tank it closer to the Disc Priest? I said, if we do that, we literally defeat the point of tanking it out of line of sight. We're supposed to be tanking up and hiding so everything comes to us. And you can't just say, now tank it in the middle. So I said, look, let's just do it the normal way because we have a really overgeared Demon Hunter. The boss will melt. So I said, right, we're just going to tank it normal way because we can't tank it like we're doing now. It's not going to work because you can't spread out everywhere. They all then hide, and I'm on my own, DPSing down the boss of the ads, and I'm like, come to me, what the fuck? And I'm just like doing it on my own. But I kept myself alive, fair enough, until they started noticing. I even noticed the Demon Hunter was like going ranged off the platform and eye-beaming stuff, like waiting for it to come up. And I was like, just come here and we'll just kill it. The boss, I then transitioned the boss, again, on my own, ran across the room, and then we killed that boss, fair enough. We then get to Cordana. As I'm going to get the light, because part of me says I don't trust everybody in this group. Yeah. So I run to get the light. As I'm almost there, the priest grips me away from it. And I was like, that's so rude. He grips me away from it and goes and grabs it. So, but then I'm also thinking, all right, well, I don't really want to do it as the tank. And if you're confident enough to grip me away, then you probably know what you're doing, right? Didn't have a Scooby. I have never seen the floor so full of the creeping pool in my life. Like, the whole 3/4 of the room was full of the stuff. And when it came to the, the creeping, what's it called? You know, the invisible guys, the invisible dudes. Yeah. The last person to ever reach the point was the guy with the light. So I was guessing for the most part. So in the first pull, 2 of them instantly died because nobody with the light was stood near the dudes, and the room was filling with stuff. The second pull was the same again. The third pull, they obviously didn't know where the ad spawns after Creeping Doom's always in one corner, right? So that was full of stuff. So I put down like a raid marker, and I'm like, clear that corner, because we need to. Just didn't do it. So that whole area where we had to get to the ad was just full of creeping stuff. Another wipe. And in the third one, the healer just died, and the rogue grabbed the light, and we just did it without the healer, unfortunately. And that was I've 21 deaths in Vault of the Warden's 8. Sounds like your Disc Priest a fucking main issue there. No, I don't think so. I think Disc Priest was a part of it. But multiple times I'm just out of anything I could do. Like shield wall's gone. You know, every cooldown you've got is possibly gone, and you're like, there's nothing else I can do in this scenario to make it better. Oh, that was stressful. Did you do it though? We did it, yeah, but I don't think I can turn it into its individual video because for most of it I'm just in stunned silence. Let's try again. Find a group. Oh man, right. 920 plus for 15, not for me. My key 7. This is the problem. I need like a 10. Cost plus 2, 920 plus DPS needed. Court of Stars plus 2, 920 item level. Court of Stars plus 2, Andy. Andy. Court of Stars plus 2. What's the minimum item level? 920 is the answer. Fuck. I'm not lying.